Still got advantage, free play. Advantage over. Still got advantage, free play. Advantage over. Still got advantage, free play. Advantage over.
You're very welcome back to the Sports Grant. Connacht side out. There's their captain, Jared Butler. He'll be happy with things, the way things have gone so far. They lead 23 points to 17. How do they approach the second half, Michael?
Yeah, it's for Connacht. I mean, they'll be focusing on trying to improve the scrum, obviously. Also, in terms of the penalties conceded, they conceded 6, whereas Glasgow conceded 9. So, from Glasgow's point of view, you know, they're to be trying to reduce that penalty count. That was just basically too much in the first half. But for Glasgow, the main thing was 12 missed tackles compared to Connacht's 3. And if Glasgow have any chance of winning this game, they're going to have to bring that stat down massively.
Yeah, the referee let the game run well. There was lots of pile-up of penalties and penalties during advantages inside the 222s. It resulted in a couple of scores, but Ian Davies let things run well. Jack Carty's having a good afternoon with the boot, 5 from 5 in the first half as he gets this second half underway. And George Horn having to stretch for that Wilson pass a little bit. O'Halloran waiting for the little grubber kick through. That was a good defensive line. O'Halloran. And Carty throwing it all the way wide. There's a little bit of space out there. And Healy doesn't need much space. Advances into the 22. Blade gets the ball away. Pull back. Farrell. O'Halloran had to use the boot. Good skills to control the ball and hold on to possession. A couple of sky blue shirts bearing down on Tiernan O'Halloran. Buckley now. Oh, a little bit of space for Godwin maybe. Closed down quickly. Good tackle by Fagerson. Blade just tempting Horn into a little bit of a rash decision.
Yeah, that was the first opportunity that the Connacht supporters got to see Matt Healy attacking. You know, when he gets the ball in a little bit of space, he has electric pace to really kind of put the opposition under pressure. But it all came about from a very strange kick from Glasgow. Just a grubber kick that was just basically handed the ball back to Connacht on a plate, and right in the centre of the pitch that Halloran exploited massively, really. And again, we talk about the penalty count, and once again, it's a penalty that could easily have been avoided from Glasgow's point of view, and gives the opportunity for Jack Carty to increase Connacht's lead.
Here you see how threatening Healy can be out wide. Strength and good feet and pace. And good effort from the prop forward Fagerson to get there. That's nice from O'Halloran. Watched it all the way. That's the thing. There was players coming in, but he never took his eye off the ball. Very easy to look up at the tackler.
Yeah, and Tiernan O'Halloran is one of those guys who seems to be good at every sport he tries, soccer, whether he's soccer or GEA or anything he puts his mind to it.
Carty. Well, can he continue where he left off at half-time? 5 from 5 in the first half. Sends that one on its way. He's got under it a little bit, but it has plenty of distance. Good kick. And Glasgow stretched that lead.
Yeah, and we talk about the confidence for Jack Carty in his kicking percentages, and being 6 from 6, albeit in a day where conditions favours kicking from feet. He'd be delighted with that. But once again, Glasgow, unforced error, giving away a stupid penalty for offside when the 9 thought the ball was out, and we'll be hoping to rectify this.
Great height on the restart. Connacht deal with it well this time. Dave Heffernan securing possession for the home team. Buckley running into a big tackle from Johnny Gray. The bolted Butler just a little bit forward.
And again, an unforced error in your own 22, and both teams have been guilty of it so far in this game. And I think Ian Davis has called for a foul play there on possibly Finlay Bealham coming in with the shoulder on, I think it's Johnny Gray, who was lying on the floor.
Yeah, the ball was dislodged, just bubbled about, came forward off Bealham's arm, but did Bealham connect with Johnny Gray? Water carriers on as well, badly needed, a lovely warm day. Sun shining brightly, hardly a puff of wind, roasting up here in the commentary position.
Yeah, and obviously there was no foul play there, deemed by Ian Davis. It was just shown on the highlight reel there. But once now, scrums were beneficial to Glasgow in the first half, and Connacht now will be keen to try and get a more positive scrum in the start of the second half.
3 men lined up straight behind the scrum. They split. They go to the narrow side. Adam Hastings. Great play by him, but eventually forced into touch. Lazy sort of running, but very effective.
Yeah, you could see there with the 3 lined up behind each other, the Glasgow players, it put a lot of doubt into the minds of Tom Farrell and Caelan Blade, and a really good bit of play there by the 9. He just faked to go right. Tom Farrell just stepped off his right foot to come in, and when the ball was released out wide, he was just in a bad position, but recovered well and made the tackle in the corner.
Shortened line from Connacht. They secure possession. They now have to set up the platform to clear. Oh, silly from Glasgow, all offside. Conceded penalty, let Connacht escape the 22 easily now.
And I sound like a broken record here, but once again, Dave Rennie will be absolutely livid with the team. There's absolutely no reason from a set piece to be deemed offside.
Kick just sliced a little bit. But it's found the safety a touch all right, but not out to the 10-metre line. Short line again. Butler, big hit come in from Harley, but Butler rode the challenge. Oh, quick hands from Connacht. Heffernan is out there. Strength from him. Good leg drive. Buckley driving into the tackle. Glasgow player loitering offside, but Davies not interested. Farrell, a little roll to protect the ball. Blade brings Connacht to this right-hand side once again. And that's Kyle Godwin. Oh, Delan is Gray in for the poach. Yes, he is. Just turnover ball. Gibbons ducking out of one tackle. Still the advantage for Glasgow. Oh, lovely flat pass. Cummings coming onto it. Oh, tried to pop it up out of the tackle. It was a free play for Glasgow.
Yeah, and before Delan got turned over there, it was a lovely little snapshot of what kind of game plan that Connacht are trying to implement this year. High tempo, forwards interchanging with backs, even coming from the start of the line out with Finlay Bealham taking the easy option and passing the ball to the scrum half, and a lovely carry by Jared Butler, who's been very inspirational today in his new role as Connacht captain. Obviously, following in the footsteps of Connacht legend John Muldoon, it's no easy feat, but I think he's played very well up to date so far.
There's the poach. Gray in great body position.
Yeah, for a big man to get down so low in that position, it's a great skill to execute.
Well, Andy Friend, first experience of a packed full house at the sports ground. First experience of the glorious weather you always get here.
I don't know. Yeah, of course. I know what you're referring to. It's always beautiful sunshine in the west of Ireland, as it is in Glasgow as well. But Glasgow here calling a full line out, and it'd be interesting to see. They've got some good yards from the mauls in the first half, so we'll have to see.
Well, it went to Wilson, but Connacht got a hand in. Wilson couldn't control it, and Connacht react first, turn over the ball. Heffernan. No way through. And again, a little bit of indiscipline from Johnny Gray.
Yeah, and a lot of the penalties that Glasgow have come away with this year are around this game have been around the breakdown, and Ian Davis is getting sick of this now because they're mounting up. And I think from Connacht's point of view, you can just see they've upped the ante in terms of the ball carriers. Jared Butler, Dave Heffernan. In the first half they were carrying, but in the second half just a bit more of a purpose and just the ambition to create quicker ball, to see what the Connacht backs can do. But from Glasgow's point of view, they absolutely need to cut these penalties out, because there's no way they're going to win this game on the back of that.
Must be difficult for a second row, and he sees the opportunity to scrag the scrum half to pass it up.
Exactly. But unfortunately in this day and age, the statistics are there's no hiding place, and when you're trying to build momentum, it's very difficult to do so when you're giving away penalties every couple of minutes. And now Connacht are bringing on Irish international Quinn Roux to add some ballast to the scrum. No doubt he'll be packing down on the tight head side to give some support to Finlay Bealham.
Fraser Brand coming on for Glasgow, as is their new signing Nick Frisby to make his competitive debut. Australian international, that's him, number 21.
Yeah, in Glasgow in the summer, they were fairly quiet in the transfer market. Obviously lost a couple of players of note, but Frisby coming in from the Queens and Reds, and now an opportunity to show what he can do.
In for George Horn at scrum half. Lovely little reverse pass, but it was well read. Healy coming in from the wing. Blade tries a little chip over the top. There's plenty of blue shirts back there. Hogg, so much experience, sees a little bit of space. Nice chip over the top. Which way is it going to bounce? Oh, bounces, kicks again. Clever play. Beautiful work from Stuart Hogg, and he's pushed Connacht back to the 22.
Yeah, you just saw there why Stuart Hogg twice tore us with the British and Irish lines. Originally came from a really good kick, clever kick by Caelan Blaine, seeing that no one was back home, but Hogg was quickest to react. Little chip kick, saw that there was Connacht were disjointed in defence, knew there was no option to pass the ball and just hooped the ball downfield and gained another 50 metres. So from being in their own 22 deep, they're now camped in the Connacht 22.
And Hogg will be willing a side on to turn this field position into a score. Delan rises. Will show the quick pass. Kelleher racing up to halfway. Oh, great work by the substitute hooker Fraser Brand to get back. Look to dive in to try and snaffle possession then. Farrell. Oh, lovely little release. Back to Paul Boyle. Great stuff from Connacht up to the 22 now. Good protection, Butler. Can Connacht move it quickly? Delan driving into the tackles. Felled on the 22. Blade comes in. Into the hands of Gallagher. He stopped just on that 22-metre line. Good defence from Glasgow. They've reorganised here. O'Halloran in the line. Glasgow, super line speed. They've snuffed out this challenge. Connacht will have to start again. They do with Delan. Quinrue just into the action. Good carry from him. Carty, O'Heffernan breaks one tackle. Doesn't get away from Johnny Gray though. Oh, it's great work. Just hit one of the Connacht players, didn't go forward, and wonderful work to pick it off the ground. Delan can't quite find the man. Carty under a little bit of pressure. Fagerson in there, making a nuisance of himself. He's had a huge game for Glasgow. Quinrue now looking to stamp a bit of authority on the game. Letting the coach know he's willing to make himself available for selection in the starting 15. Would have been happy to be left on the bench. Oh, Fraser Brand's all over that, but he's not on it, bearing his own weight. He was cleared out eventually. It just slips away. Carty was looking for the crossfield kick. And then the knock-ons turned into a penalty. Great defence from Glasgow.
Great defence in the end, but leading up to that, we saw some great illustrations of the kind of high-tempo game that Connacht are trying to play. All started in their own 22 from a snipe by Caelan Blade to Cian Kelleher, and some great runs by Dave Heffernan as well. But once again,
well, shape to go to touch. Hogg decided to tap. Ball's a little bit low for Grigg. It's been knocked on. Advantage Connacht here. Gallagher gets it away to Buckley. He couldn't get the pass away. That's another penalty. Sorry, it's another advantage for knock-on. They go back for the first one, scrum Connacht.
Yeah, and if you're going to take a quick tap and go, you've got to be 99.9% confident that you're going to get a gain from it. And unfortunately for Glasgow, it was not to be. So instead of potentially going for 3 points or kicking to the corner and putting pressure from a pretty successful maul, they've handed the ball back to Connacht.
9 points behind. I think their mentality has to be get downfield, get within 7 at least.
Yeah, they're their own worst enemy, really, the Warriors so far in the second half. And as I said, Dave Rennie will be pretty livid at some of the decision making that's going on by some of the senior players, really.
Making a change. Scott Cummins is heading off. Chris Vasaro coming in. They might send Harley into the second row.
Yeah, some changes by both teams, and today the scrum has been fairly successful for Glasgow. Second half, Connacht have kind of ballasted it, and with the addition of Quinn Rue, who's very highly thought of by Joe Schmidt as a right-hand tight head second row. It has added some ballast to the scrum.
Yeah, good scrum from Connacht this time. Well, they're all standing up now. Penalty Connacht.
Yeah, you can see there the front row are showing their appreciation to the two second rows, Alton Delan and Quinn Rue there. Some fantastic weight getting brought forward to the front row and ultimately leading to a Connacht penalty.
Carty, a little bit of slice again on the kick from hand. Oh, more changes being made ready for Connacht. Peter McCabe, Nia Adialokan coming on.
Yeah, surprised to see Tiernan O'Halloran going off. Maybe he's carrying something that we're not aware of. But a great opportunity in great conditions for Nia Adialokan to come on, and we can see the speed of this guy possesses, and on conditions like today, the Connacht crowd will be hoping to see him running in some open space.
Cian Kelleher presumably will go to fullback. Scrappy maul, and it's not coming out of there. It's turned over by Glasgow. Very good work in defence.
Yeah, you look for momentum changes, and the Glasgow pack will be absolutely delighted with that. And you can see Stuart Hogg going over to congratulate his forwards there, because he knows how how much work they put in there to turn the ball over. And as I said, your momentum changes kind of have been on the front foot this half, and Glasgow really haven't got out of second gear. So who knows, something like that may kind of shape them into something more productive as time goes on.
Finlay Beelum receiving some attention. Glasgow have made a change on the wing. DTH van der Merwe making way for Nico Madawalu.
And you talk about game changers. Madawalu is absolutely epitomised that type of player. You never know what he's going to do, and sometimes I'm sure he doesn't even know what he's doing himself, but on his day, it's an absolute world beater. Yeah, inevitably with the introduction of a couple of new additions to the front row, the scrums are having to reset on a couple of occasions. But big opportunity here for Peter McCabe. Impressed well last year and got himself a full contract for Connacht.
Yeah, McCabe in the front row for Connacht. Fraser Brown in for Glasgow. Referee being patient with a new man in. Glasgow getting a bit of a shunt on. And they get the penalty. Good work. So 2 little battles won by the Glasgow pack in quick succession. Don't think Hogg will take a little tap penalty this time.
Yeah, McCabe seems to be a little bit under pressure there, and I think from his hips point of view, they weren't probably in an optimal position when he actually made the impact on the hit. But yeah, now Glasgow have an opportunity. As I said, they really haven't got out of second gear in this second half, and all of a sudden find themselves 9 points down. So Hogg will be keen to get this down into the 22 and to try and build some momentum.
Ollie Kebble looking like he's in a little bit of difficulty. A loose head for Glasgow. Hogg finds the touchline this time.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed to lose Kebble if he does have to go off. He's been strong in the tight and carried well in the loose.
Harley got fingertips to it. Fasaro was tidying up. Glasgow have possession. Fraser Brown, really strong ball carrier, great acceleration. Frisbee, a little pop-up pass. Kebble at the back. Nice work. I was just about to say the handling has been pretty good in this game, and then there's an unforced error. advantage. The advantage is over as the call as Butler races away. Tackled on the 10-metre line. Clever little pop pass to McCabe coming on the burst. Referee shouting at Glasgow to release. They don't listen. Blade is tapped and taken quickly. Not sure that was the best decision. Were Glasgow back 10 metres? Referee's happy that they were. Oh, Kelleher's a little bit isolated here. Green shirts pile in, drive over the ball. Connacht in possession on halfway, looking to set something up again. Second half has been a little bit quieter. Carty sees a little bit of space. Hogg quick to react, read the danger. Tries to spiral one away with the outside of the boot, but he hasn't got much distance on that. So a little kicking battle is a victory for Carty.
Yeah, and Carty actually was the initiator originally. It was his line speed that forced the turnover, and I think it's a set play from Connacht's defence this year. It seems that the third man in the defensive setup is taking a flyer on a lot of occasions, and what that does is the ball carrier has to make a decision and trying to come in, or does he go outside? If he goes outside, it's a more difficult pass because the defender is on him straight away. But it was Carty there doing the job there as a third defender and putting pressure and inevitably forcing the turnover.
Another change in the front row. Conor Carey coming on for Finlay Bealham. We've got a huge ovation from the supporters on the far side. Alex Allen in for Kebble as well in the Glasgow front row. Glasgow successfully slowing the ball down. It's not coming out. Scrum to Connacht. Be happy enough with that decision, I think.
Yeah, it was fairly messy. I thought for a split second there, Ian Davis was going to give a penalty for Tom Farrell holding on, but he deemed it a fair contest on both sides, and the ball was unplayable, resulting in a Connacht scrum. And what an attacking position for Connacht to attack from now. Middle of the pitch, options both sides, in great conditions. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here. But for Glasgow, the clock's ticking now, and with less than 25 minutes to go, they need to find a spark from somewhere.
Yeah, it'll be a very big chase for Glasgow if they let Connacht get another score here. Connacht lead by 9.
And you have number 18 now, Conor Carey for Connacht, who's been a great addition. He's been there a year and a half now in Connacht rugby, and has added some real competition for places with Finlay Bealham in the tight head position.
Boyle picks from the base. Blade comes to this right-hand side. Receives the pass back. Was that tackle a little bit high? It was over the shoulder. Penalty. Not really dangerous.
Yeah, it was a good read by Horn, but unfortunately his read was too high in the tackle, and resulting in a high tackle for the Connacht player.
I think in fairness, if you watch Blade, he dips the shoulder a little bit as well. Or maybe not. It looks a bit worse in slow motion.
Yeah, no, sorry, it's Hastings. But yeah, as I said initially, it was a great read. He saw Jack Carty was just doing a pass around the back of his shoulder. Knew that Blade was going to be the recipient, but unfortunately he was over eager and fell through. So
is it going to be a yellow card? I think so. Well, maybe not. Yeah. Ian Davies, he has a hand in that card pocket.
Yeah. And I think the mitigating circumstances are, if a player ducks, then sometimes there's a bit of sympathy for the tackler. But on that occasion, Hastings was always in a high position, as Ian Davies points out, resulting in an inevitable yellow card for the Warriors, which puts their task in an even greater position now, harder position now with 10 minutes now on their creative number 10 in the sin bin.
Well, they have Peter Horn out there, who's pretty handy outside half in his own right. He can slot in there, but they're down to 14.
And quietly, Connacht have kept this board, the clock ticking away nicely. And all of a sudden, if Carty can make this penalty kick, they'll be getting quite a sizable advantage here against a 14-man opponent.
Carty taking plenty of time. Carty, can he maintain his perfect record? Absolute silence at the sports ground. Well, it's curling, but it's curling around the back of the posts. Not a great contact from Carty on that occasion.
Carty will be disappointed with that kick on his right foot, bending the ball in. But he's been kicking fairly well today, but unfortunately on that occasion he just didn't bring the ball round quick enough.
Matawalu tries the clever start. The ball bobbles around. Chance chip over the top for Eddie Oloken to chase. Matawalu's back, completely misread it. Both appealing, and it's a Glasgow throw.
Yeah, you always look at players trying to force play, and you can't kind of question his merit there. But on that occasion, that was never on the kick, and it granted a Connacht possession, and Glasgow were lucky to get the ball back in the 22.
Connacht Glasgow secure possession in that line out. There's Mauling in field. I'll give the kick clearance a better angle. They might get more out of it. Harley holding the ball at the back. Well, Quinru has been asked to get out. Now the box kick from Frisbee. Eddie Oloken underneath it. Kelleher, he's got great pace, great feet. Kelleher's away. What a beautiful break. Has support outside. Couldn't quite find it, but good improvisation from Godwin. What a break by Kelleher, though. The ball squirting around back there. Glasgow have it, but they're under pressure. 10 metres from the try line. And the Connacht crowd roaring their team on here. There's nothing like a break like that from Kelleher, who's gone to fullback.
Yeah, I found that a strange decision by Frisbee to box kick that ball from a driving maul. I mean, it's energy sapping stuff when you drive a maul 20-25 metres, and then for you then to ask your forward pack to get into a line and create a defensive line from that. And we saw what happened there. Cian Kelleher looked up. There was a huge gap in the midfield, and he just exploited it. Unfortunately, his pass to Tillyo O'Halloran wasn't quite at the level of his line break.
Well, Connacht trying the rolling maul tactic now. Getting a little bit of result out of it here. They're stopped again. Oh, the little grubber kick through. Which way will it bounce? Oh, Matawalu, you can't take your eye off this guy. And Cillian Gallagher didn't swallow it up, the Fijian. So Glasgow still deep inside their 22 here. They have possession, though. Out half is in the sin bin, remember. Frisbee taking on a lot of the clearing kick duty.
Yeah, and Connacht there with a set play, knowing that that the Warriors were a player down in the backs. Jack Carty, set play, as I said, just dinked the ball forward, looking for Tom Farrell, the bounce of the ball for Tom Farrell. But it was great covering by Matawalu, and did fantastically well to negate the danger.
So good to watch, Nico Matawalu.
And inevitably now we're seeing with 18 minutes left on the clock, a couple of players going down injured now, and I'm not sure whether it's slight cramping or it is injuries, but it's Paul Boyle, the number 6 for Connacht, making his debut today. As we're looking in the crowd and see the likes of Bundy Eki, who I'm sure will be brought back into the Connacht fold after his restful summer on the back of a tour with Ireland. But what a great guy to come back in. But I think Connacht this year are going to be very blessed in the centres in terms of competition. I think Carl Godwin today has gone about his business very, very well and partnered very well with Tom Farrell. So there's 3 guys there, and if you bring in the likes of Owen Griffin and Peter Robb, Connacht seems to be pretty blessed in that respect.
There's not many settings as pretty as this one. Well, certainly when you see it bathed in autumn sunshine like this, all the players are receiving attention are back in their feet. And Boyle straight back into the action, rising at the back of that line out to win possession or secure possession for Connacht. Well, the Mole going backwards a little bit, and then the ball squirts out. Blade has to retreat, takes control. Another little arm